What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Marcus Mays here. For those of you that don't know who I am a realtor. And I just created this YouTube channel not too long ago, and I do plan to, drop many videos in regards to home ownership, in regards to financial literacy, so that you guys can achieve your goal of home ownership, right? So super excited. Welcome to the channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and drop any comments. If you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to drop it in the comments. I'm here for you guys. I'm always continuously checking the comments and what you guys have to say and the feedback that you guys have to give. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much. What we're going to be going over today is actually the steps that 99% of people forget to or actually skip prior to going into the home buying process. So it's super important. These steps are critical in the success of actually making it to the finish line before your home buying journey or during your home buying journey, right? So let's go ahead and get right into it. Welcome back. So here's the thing. I know that buying a home can be super exciting, and you might be anxious, right? Especially if it's your first or even second home, right? Even if your third home. Every time you buy a new home, you should be super excited, and you're ready to jump into the process and ready to get into that home, right? But here's the thing. There's, three particular steps that I notice my clients always skipping prior to jumping into the process. And so that's what we're kind of going to discuss today, so that you can take advantage before even starting the process to make sure that your preparation is in order, especially in today's times, especially with the way the housing market is in 2022. With it being a little more competitive, right? With the interest rates being a little bit higher than what they were, a year ago. So with these steps, you can actually take advantage and put yourself in a great position so that you can be successful in your home buying journey. First thing that I want to touch base on is checking your credit score. Checking your credit score is super critical, because I've run into clients many times say, "Hey, Marcus, I want to buy a house. I'm ready to go." And we start the process, right? But the thing is, their credit score isn't where they need to be, right? Sometimes they might be, 50, 100 points shy of where they need to be, or it might be only a 20 point makeup that they need. But the thing is, you must check your credit score prior to even saying I want to jump into the home buy, or prior to even going into the home buying journey. After you make the decision of, hey, I want to start, looking or researching or getting ready to go into the home buying process, you should, first things first, you should check your credit score. And the thing is, you want to check all three credit scores, from TransUnion, from Equifax, and Experian, not just one of the three or two of the three. Like, for example, Credit Karma only has two of the three scores, right? Other places might only have one of the three scores. I know the Chase app only shows one score, right? And a lot of people might go off of that one score or the other scores on Credit Karma. So, but the thing is, you want to check all three scores prior to going into your home buying journey. And more specifically, you want to check all three of your FICO scores, because that's what the banks are actually going to be looking at, rather than, your Credit Karma scores, which are also known as the Vantage scores, right? So all three bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, and you want to check the FICO scores, okay? And what that can do, that can actually save a lot of time, because if you know where you are prior to even jumping in, you can go ahead and start tackling some of the things or the negative accounts that are actually holding your credit score back, so that whenever it is time for you to go ahead and apply and get ready to move forward in the home buying journey, that won't be a hiccup, right? So that's the first thing that I wanted to touch base on. Second thing I wanted to touch base on is structuring your finances. Structuring your finances is huge. Now, there might be some people better than, in a better position than others, right? As far as when it comes to finances, right? But the thing is, as long as you prepare yourself, whether you need, 3 months preparation, 6 months preparations, or even a year preparation, that's perfectly fine. But you just have to realize where you are, just be realistic with yourself. And what I like to tell my clients, you want to have two different types of savings. First type of savings is you want to have an emergency fund, right? An emergency fund for the hiccups of life, right? Anything might happen. You might need to jump on the plane and go on an emergency trip to go see a family member, or you might need to, fix your car, or anything could happen. That's your emergency fund. Second fund that you need to have is your home buyer savings fund, specifically for your home buying process. Regardless if you're going to use a grant, regardless if you're going to get, seller's concessions, regardless if you're getting assistance with down payment, right? Regardless of any of that, you should still have some funds for your home buying process, just in case you have to come up with some funds during that specific process. Because, the process is unpredictable, right? You might have to come up with a little bit of extra money, even if you're getting a grant, you might have to come up with a little bit of extra money. You might have to come up with the extra money if there's an appraisal gap, right? If the house doesn't appraise for what you're purchasing it for, right? And that's coming to be more of a common reoccurrence now that the housing market is the way it is, right? Um, so structuring your finances is also the second thing I wanted to touch base on. Third thing I wanted to touch base on is your document preparation. Your document preparation is huge, huge, huge. Why? Because first and foremost, it can take a long time to gather those documents, depending on if you're organized, or if you're an organized person, or you're a little bit less of an organized person, right? You might have your files of your tax returns, in your desk or saved on your computer, where you can just, make a few clicks and find it. Or you might have to go to your tax person and request it, and they might take, weeks to get it back to you, or to find it, or a few days, right? So you want to be prepared with your documents, as well, before going into the home buying process. And I'll touch base on what documents that you need to have, and these are just the minimum documents. Your lender might ask you for a few more documents, right? Or some extra documents for you to fill out, but you want to have the foundational, I guess, type of documents, which are, number one is going to be your proof of identification. Typically, it's your driver's license. You want to have a copy of your driver's license. Second thing is, you want to have the most recent 30 days worth of pay stubs. The most recent 30 days worth of pay stubs. Um, Third thing you're going to want to have is most recent 60 days worth of bank statements. So you might have to go to your bank and request the most recent 60 days worth of bank statements. I know a lot of banks, they have online portals where you can actually log in and you can download the PDFs of your most recent 60 days worth of bank statements. So that might be an option for you. As far as your job, you might have to log into a portal and get your most recent 30 days worth of pay stubs, right? Depending on what type of job you have, or they might have paper copies, right? But you just want to check with your job and your bank on to see and figure out how you can access those documents. Fourth thing that you're going to need is your most recent 2 years worth of W-2s if you're a W-2 employee, or most recent 2 years worth of 1099s if you're a self-employed or a contractor, have your own business, whatever, right? So if you're a W-2 employee, you might have to log into that portal, but you're going to have to get the most recent 2 years worth of W-2s. And that might be something that you have to, figure out with your job, or order online if you don't have copies at hand, right? So that could take a little bit of time as well. And same thing for 1099. You want to keep track and figure out how you can access the most recent two years of 1099s, right? And the fifth thing that you're going to need is your most recent 2 years worth of tax returns. Most recent 2 years worth of tax returns. You might have to contact your tax person to get your tax returns, right? Who knows? but you want to make sure that you have all those documents together prior to you even, going to apply, prior to you actually trying to go look for homes. You want to make sure you have those in order so that there's no hiccups down the line, right? So that the lenders can fully qualify you and not just look at your credit score and say, okay, you're good. But then something comes up a little bit later down the line because they didn't have all the information up front, which could, hinder you from even getting, moving forward in the home buying process. Let's say, for example, that happens, because it does happen, right? You can get approved from your credit score, right? From the lender, and they're not fully qualifying you. And you get approved, you go find a home, and you fall in love with the home. You're like, okay, this is the one I want. This is the home I'm going to raise my family in. I'm going to raise my kids in. They're going to grow up. They're going to go to the school. You're falling in love with it. And then something happens and there's a hiccup because they didn't have all the information up front. And to prevent that, this is why you need to have your documents prepared. Okay. So just a little recap. First things first, check your credit score. You want to check your credit score, okay? That is huge, huge, huge. All from all three bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, Experian. You want to get all three credit scores. Remember, FICO, FICO, FICO. All three FICO credit scores, okay? Second thing, structuring your finances, right? You can sit down and put a budget together, right? But you want to have at least two savings that you're feeding every time you get paid. Let's say you get paid every 2 weeks. You want to have two savings that you're feeding. One is going to be your home buyer savings, and then your next one is going to be your emergency fund savings, right? And if you already have a savings, then great, good job, kudos to you. You're ahead of the ball game, right? But home buyer savings and emergency fund savings. And once you feel comfortable, then you can actually start looking into the home buying process and seeing what the next steps are to qualify, right? Third thing was what, guys? It was document preparation. Document preparation. You want to have all those documents together so that there's no hiccups and no, not saying that there's not going to be any hiccups down the line, right? Because things can happen, but you want to be the most prepared that you can be whenever it comes to this home buying process, right? Just because it is a big, big process. So here's something I got for you. If you guys are looking to purchase a home within the next 6 to 12 months, right? Next 6 to 12 months, you want to be a homeowner or purchase your second or third home, right? What was the first thing? Check your credit score. So what I have for you is I have a link in the description where you can check your credit score. It's going to be from all three bureaus. It's going to have all your FICO scores, right? It's going to have your entire reports from TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. So if you're serious with this home buying, this home buying thing, and you really want to move forward in the home buying process to purchase your next home, it's an investment. Guys, make sure that your credit is right, because that can hold you guys up. So first things first, check your credit score. Click the link in the description to get all three reports from each of the three bureaus. Second thing, if you guys are looking to purchase your home within the next 6 to 12 months, also, I have a list of the top 10 home buying programs that I'm using for my clients here in 2022. And that's absolutely free. The link for that is also going to be in the description. So go ahead, click the link, and download that free list of the top 10 home buying programs in 2022, guys. Super excited to help you all. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will get back to you. Remember, if you're interested in more of this content of, the home buying process, what it entails, how to, qualify for certain grants, things like that, go ahead, subscribe this channel, leave comments, whatever. Okay, guys? So that's about it for today's video. I'll see you guys next time.